Hello everybody, this is Yoko Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for Dragon Ball Super episodes 15 and 16. You're probably wondering, wait, Dragon Ball Super? Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've worked on Dragon Ball Super. And I just decided out of the blue yesterday to work on it. And I would have gotten probably a bit more done, but the kids getting home and then having to be ready for work later, it's just not very much done. And I wanted to be able to get a bunch done today, but yeah, kids are out of school today because of the weather. And I'm like, the weather is not even doing anything. It's just freaking windy. Jeez. So, yeah, me and my mom both have to deal with that, which sucks a lot. Anyway, yeah, the whole joke that Mr. Satan will take credit for anything that Goku and the others do, yeah, that is still a joke, sort of. But the thing is, I think he finally understood when the whole Majin Buu stuff happened that it's because of Goku and the others that they're even still alive at this point. Technically, they would all still be dead if it wasn't for Goku and their friends, because the Earth would have been, well, completely blown up. Or possibly just everybody being obliterated and turned into candy on the Earth if they hadn't done anything, because, Babidi would have still gotten what they wanted and revived Majin Buu, and Majin Buu still would have gone and, turned people into candy. So he knows that Goku and the others are responsible not only for all the other stuff that's happened in the past. Dang it, what was it? I'm assuming 10 or so years, give or take. 13 years, something like that. And he knows this. So whenever he gets any kind of reward or whatever for that sort of thing, he does give it to Goku, because he did that in the first episode, where he got that reward money for that 100 million zenny for saving the world before from the enemy, aka Majin Buu, though everybody doesn't remember that, just to say erase everybody's memory. He gave it to Goku. So he does know that they are responsible for saving the world countless times. And he knows that he doesn't have the capability to be able to do it himself. The only reason he ever even takes credit for anything anymore is just to keep up his reputation and to not make his fans question essentially everything that has happened. And I think also, I'm assuming he also does it to keep his fans away from Goku and the others so they can have a somewhat normal life, because he knows that they have gone through so friggin' much with the Cell stuff, the Majin Buu stuff, and I'm assuming that's all he knows of besides possibly the Saiyans and the androids. He doesn't even know about the stuff involving Namek, unless Gohan told him all that, but still. So, and then this whole thing with Beerus. So he knows they're not having a freaking normal life. Now, I'm probably reaching, of course, on this one, because it might not be the case. But I'm assuming, like I said, he's doing this so that way the others can have a somewhat decent life. Especially Videl and Gohan, because they're currently pregnant. She's currently pregnant. So giving them a somewhat normal life and keeping his fans away from them and bothering them so much with being famous for saving the world countless times is probably the least he could do. So, yeah, and Gohan, I don't know how, I know they go through this pregnancy very, very fast. And considering they do so because I'm assuming that the training with Whis for Vegeta and ultimately Goku will take a while, and thus they'll go through the pregnancy really quick. Because I think the next episode is when the freaking baby's born. If I'm correct. So, yeah, that training takes a while. It takes probably like at least 9 months. And Gohan is treating Videl like she's like 5, 6 months pregnant already. Like, he doesn't want her doing anything. He's an overprotective father, essentially, which is extra scary considering what he can do fighting-wise. So, no one had better threaten his little baby, or else, Papa Bear's gonna come out. And you really do not want to be on the receiving end of Papa Bear's wrath. And that also includes Grandpa Goku. You really don't want to get on his bad side. So yeah, that baby will be protected. And that also includes Piccolo too. Because Piccolo's kind of like a surrogate father figure to Gohan too. So Gohan technically has 2 fathers, Goku and Piccolo. Piccolo is a surrogate father. Goku is biological father, obviously. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a very protected and loved baby. So, yeah, that's a thing they're going to have to deal with. Please don't know. Please don't know. Come in here. Anyway, while all this is going on, Chi-Chi is getting pissed at Goku for always doing the fighting and everything, and I'm like, lady, you could try to rein him in, but you cannot stop him from fighting. And I'm sure if Beerus was there, he would tell you, or Vegeta would tell you, Vegeta probably knows this more than anybody, that if a Saiyan, even a half Saiyan, does not constantly train, they will get weaker. They will lose strength, essentially, and that's what happened with Gohan. Because later on, you can tell that Gohan's gotten weak over that course of the, 3 years? I'm assuming, I think it was 3 years. Anyway, yeah, that's not a good idea to try and keep Goku from training. Especially considering Beerus might one day want to come and have a rematch to once and for all get the fight that he really, really wanted. Because he might have gotten it a little bit, but he didn't get a full-on fight that he wanted. So he might show up again, wanting to fight against Goku again in his God form. And, yeah, you really do not want him to stop training. You might want to cut back on the training a bit, but you can't stop him from training altogether. Besides, I'm sure that if he doesn't train, he's going to get grumpy, and you really don't want Goku grumpy. Anyway, Krillin shows up while Goku is fast asleep on the tractor, thankfully avoiding falling over the cliff again, somehow, and even if he had not avoided it, he could fly, but still. He asks Goku to punch him. I'm like, why would you want him to punch you? You know how strong Goku is. If he was to punch you, if he wasn't careful, he could punch your head right off your shoulders. I'm surprised that actually hasn't happened, to be honest. Considering how strong these guys are, I am very surprised that they have not even done that yet. Because, yeah, I'm assuming their necks are not that strong to be able to withstand full force punches from other Saiyans, or whatever they're being punched from. So, yeah, he does it, and obviously Krillin takes a beating, because he's sent flying very far away and into a cliff. And, yeah, we can see that both Krillin and 18 really do care about each other, because, she's still with him, for crying out loud. If she didn't care about him, she probably wouldn't stick around. Or at the very least, if she didn't love him, she wouldn't stick around. Even with the kid. But, yeah, we also see the culmination of Mr. Satan's lies starting to come to fruition, because while he's telling everybody about how he defeated the destruction god Beavis, using Goku's fight to stand in for himself, obviously, as he's telling the story, a spaceship pops up. And it's I don't even know what the name of the aliens are, but they're apparently afraid of something that looks like a dog. And they're thanking him for taking down Beerus, because Beerus has been kind of going on a little bit of a rampage, destroying other planets. And their hero decides that I'm not going to acknowledge that he's a hero and defeated Beerus unless I test him myself. Which, it is fair. That is very fair. Because you want to make sure that this guy actually did do what he said he did. And that's bad for Mr. Satan, because we all know how weak he is. Krillin could kick his ass. Yamcha could kick his ass. Probably Tien could kick his ass too, and that's saying something. Because those guys, I think Yamcha is probably the weakest out of all of them. No. It's either Yamcha or Chaozu, and Chaozu could still kick his butt. And that's saying something. A lot. We all know how weak Mr. Satan is. And he knows it. He knows that he's no match for this guy. And so he's really hoping that one of the others will show up and help him. He got very lucky that Goku showed up. And he convinced him to stand in for the fight, claiming that, I'll just decide if you're worth my time, but if you can beat my apprentice or something like that. And sadly, this does not happen because, lo and behold, Piccolo and Chi-Chi are walking by, and she sees all this. Now, I know she said, no more fighting, no more training, but she has seen so much for as long as she's been married and been with Goku, essentially. Actually, not even counting when she was with Goku, when she was a kid, for crying out loud. She knows that craziness like that will follow Goku and show up on Earth. So I still don't get why she's wanting him to not train and fight, because she has seen that he and the others are their only hope of even surviving another alien invasion like that. With, like, Frieza, for example. Or if Beerus would show up again. If they're not there to fight, they're as good as dead. So wanting him to not fight is stupid. It's essentially signing y'all's death warrant eventually. And Goku sees her and tries to get Mr. Satan to act like he's punching him so he can act like he got hit and then is making his escape. And he does just that, which leaves Mr. Satan back in the predicament he was in again. And the fight starts, and obviously Mr. Satan is trying to run for his life because he knows that if he was to get hit, he more than likely would either die or he'd get very badly injured, and then his reputation would go down the pooper. And, you're probably wondering, wait, why didn't Vegeta or any of the others answer the call? Well, we saw what Gohan was dealing with. He was trying to make food. And I was actually wondering, can Gohan cook? Did Chi-Chi ever teach him how to cook? Or is she just relying on Videl to be doing all the cooking? Which is, like I said, is not realistic, considering when she gets to a certain point in the pregnancy, she's going to need to stay off her feet. Which means no cooking. Well, then again, I think at that point, I think Chi-Chi's probably going to come over and do all the cooking, but still. Yeah. I'm assuming that Gohan can't cook because he wasn't able to do what he was doing at the time. And we didn't see what Krillin and the others were up to. We know that Vegeta was out training because he's trying to find a way to surpass the Super Saiyan God thing that Goku is now. And Bulma didn't answer the phone. So at the time I didn't know what Bulma was doing. I know what she's doing now. But yeah, he gets extremely lucky in this because he's about to take a punch, and the little dog from before that we saw in the Buu saga, that is now a full-grown dog, he walks over to the edge of the ring and is just sitting there watching it, and the guy sees it, and he freaks out and runs for it, because he thinks that's, I guess, the enemy that they were freaking out about before. And they see it, or rather the other two see it, and they freak out, do their little goodbye thingy, and then run off. Essentially leaving Mr. Satan to take the victory that they got freaked out and ran off. So he got extremely lucky on that one. And, next episode is, Bulma has been not answering the phone because she was showing Whis around, the area, sampling all the local amazing food, because that was part of the reason that she was trying to get Whis to not let Beerus blow up the planet. If they did, then there wouldn't be any good food. So essentially, she's trying to get on Whis' good side, because you would think with the God of Destruction that their attendant or their, bodyguard or whatever is stronger than them, because why would you have someone be weaker than them to be there for them and keep them from going on a rampage, for example? So she knows that Whis is strong, just based on that fact alone. So she's trying to get on his good side, so that way if anything like that does happen, she can convince Whis to at least keep her family safe, which means herself, Trunks, and to a lesser extent Vegeta, but I don't think Vegeta would accept that. Because you know how he is. His pride wouldn't let him. And Vegeta has, like I said, been trying to get to that level that he wants to, and obviously that's not going to be enough, because if training was enough to do it, they would have already hit it by now. But they haven't. So he's probably not going to be able to do it just by simply training alone. And he gets back to the house, just all covered in dirt and mud. And Bulma's getting mad at him for that because he's been doing that a bunch. And Vegeta's like, why are you around Whis? And Bulma insinuates that he's jealous that she is around another guy. And I'm like, lady, why are you even suggesting that? Because you know that if you were ever actually cheating, if Vegeta was to find out, more than likely you would die, the person involved would die, the entire planet would probably be blown up, and he'd probably go rampage all over the freaking universe because of that. So, yeah. Don't think the Prince of All Saiyans would like to be cheated on. So, yeah, you know that would not end well if you were to even try that, so why are you even suggesting that? He would be jealous over something like that. And Vegeta thinks he can get a leg up on this, on getting some kind of training from Whis, because Whis was Beerus' teacher, apparently. Teacher in what? I don't know. And Whis had told him, well, if you become a destroyer someday, then I'll teach you. And I'm like, this came back to made me think of that, because I've watched videos in the past of, like, Goku's last days, Vegeta and Bulma's last days, stuff like that, and it shows them, as being old and what they did in their last days before dying of old age, and one of them was Vegeta becoming a destroyer to keep Bulma from getting erased completely because she screwed up and did something that caused something bad to almost happen, essentially. And that made me think of that maybe that was hinting at something that would happen later on in Dragon Ball Super. Eventually. Or at least be hinted at anyway. For something that would happen in the future. Like how da-da-da-da would do this, and Vegeta would do that, Piccolo would do that, blah 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 blah. But, yeah. That's what made me think of that. And Vegeta thinks that he can get Whis to train him if he showed him amazing food, which he ends up showing him all the places that him and Bulma had already gone to. And Vegeta tries to make a rice omelet, but as we all know, with Vegeta's strength, you have to be very, 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 very careful when it comes to cracking eggs, especially with, like I said, that kind of strength. And he ends up destroying all the eggs and not getting any of them, and he finds out, what Whis has already tried, and he ends up showing Whis something that his wife can't apparently go without having, every week or something, or every other day or something like that, I can't remember. And it turns out it's ramen. Instant ramen. And I'm like, Whis would actually like that? Because that's not exactly something, culinary ingenuity, to be honest. And yet apparently it is to him. Well, I guess who knows what else he's had, but still. And he agrees to train him. Well, we all know that this is going to end up with Goku coming in and training as well with him, because if he knows that Vegeta's out training with Whis, he's going to want to get in on that. He will. I can guarantee you that. Anyway, I hope you guys are excited for more. I'll try and get some more videos done today. I can't guarantee it considering the kids are here, but I will try. And I'll see you guys next time.